Hey guys, Johnny Kinswater here with another installment of my end of the year video series. Yesterday we did number 7. Throughout the past couple days we did 10, 8, 9 as well. And you can check those out and find those on the channel now. But today we're talking about number 6 in my top 10 concerts of the year countdown. Each day from now until the end of the year I'm counting down one of my favorite concerts that I went to. And today we're talking about number 6. Yesterday was a country show. Today's a country show. Yesterday, the band I talked about, or the artist I talked about, however, was way bigger than these guys. However, I ended up liking their performance a whole lot better for some reason, and that would be LoCash. They played at the Greeley Stampede this year. They did, I believe, their first headlining tour as well this year, which was really cool to see. And Drake White opened for them. I love that dude. And for somebody who's opening for a band like LoCash, right, because LoCash isn't that big, right, so you figure that someone opening for them would be even smaller than they are. And he is, but for someone with as little of fame, and I don't mean that insultingly, but he's not that big yet. And for someone who's at that point in their career to have already created a persona like he has is really something in itself, because he comes out, he's got the hat, you know, people are already going crazy. He has 3 songs that everybody knows, maybe 4, I think, actually, songs that everybody knows. He works those in throughout the set list very nicely, and he was very good interacting with the crowd the whole time. Yeah, his set was his set, sorry, was amazing. I don't have anything to bitch about his performance whatsoever. Then we get to LoCash. And this one was really interesting to me that they were headlining the Greeley Stampede and that someone like Drake White was opening up for them. Because arguably, they do have the #1 songs and things like that, and their songs get played more, I guess, but they only have 2 songs, or at least they did at the time, that were real popular. Drake White, although they weren't as successful songs, he actually had more songs that were known than they did. So it was interesting to see if they were headlining, A, but then B, that he was opening up for him. So I wasn't sure they'd be able to hold their own very well, even though I was a big fan of their music. And they totally crushed it. Their performance was amazing. They were nothing but humble the whole time, and you could tell they loved being there. That's what I love most about going to shows. If you watch my number 9, I think it was, in this end of the year countdown thing, I talked about Guns N' Roses. And the best part of that show was the fact that they all looked like they wanted to be there and they looked like they were having a good time. And with LoCash, it was like times 10. These dudes just, you could tell they were having a blast. One of the kids, or one of the guys, brought his kid up on stage, and they were just nothing but humble, and they performed amazingly. Obviously, like I stated, they don't have that many songs. You know, so to be able to stretch out a whole show and keep people intrigued the whole time was going to be quite a challenge. But it really wasn't for them. They did a lot of cover songs, and they also did songs that they'd wrote for other people. Like they played Truck Yeah, which is a song that they actually wrote with Chris Janson that Tim McGraw ended up coming on to record. And then they also played Keith Urban's song that they had wrote and a couple others, and as well as just straight up cover songs. And they covered multiple genres as well. They played Journey, they played Michael Jackson. Songs that they could get the crowd singing to, obviously, and it worked because everybody was having a blast. And the crowd wasn't that big at that show, but the people that were there ended up loving it. A lot of people were like me. I ended up going to the concert for free, and I'm sure there was a lot of people like that, or people that just didn't have anything better to do, so they're like, yeah, I'll go check out this band. And I don't think anybody left disappointed. As much as I could talk about every other little aspect of the show, this isn't supposed to be a full recap. This is just my top 10 countdown, so I'm just going to keep harping on the same thing. Is they're just persona on stage is just so cool, and they were telling stories throughout the whole time. They have a very strong history with the Grizzly Rose. They played on the free stage back when they were first starting out, back when they were the LoCash Cowboys. Then they opened up the main stage a couple times, and then they just kind of went away. They hadn't been at the Greeley Stampede for a while, and they tell the story about when they got the call that said they were coming back to headline, and how excited they were, and it was just really cool to see them and just feel the emotion while they were talking, because you could tell that these dudes have worked their ass off, and it's taken way too long for them to get to where they're at now, but they're finally here, and they're loving it, which is awesome because it makes everybody else love it as well, because you can show up and play a show and cash your paycheck and go home, and people are going to have a good time, but they're not going to have as good of a time if you're on stage also having a good time, because the shit's infectious, man. If the guy on stage is having a blast, and everybody else is going to be having a blast too. So really worked out, and that was probably Probably my biggest surprise of the year. When I was going to that show, if you'd have told me that it would have ended up in my top 10 list, I would have called you crazy. Like, there's no way that I would have thought that it would be that fun and that good. But it was fucking fantastic, and I loved it. So it's number 6, above Guns N' Roses and Brad Paisley and Freedom Fest and Nickelback. Those are the other ones I've counted down, so make sure to check those out. That's going to do it for this one. Come back tomorrow for number 5, and every day till the end of the year I'm counting them down, so subscribe so you don't miss them, and make sure to check out my Facebook page and my website as well, and never miss anything going on in the world of live music. Alright, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Come back tomorrow for number 5. Bye.